Yes, yeah. Blessed love, everyone. I want to say give thanks and praise for life, health, and strength. I want to say thank you for, all the love and all the positive energy um, that exists in creation. I want to thank our ancestors. You know, I want to thank all of those royal African people that have come before us. We want to thank them at this moment. So let's just have a quick moment of silence, a couple of seconds, moment of silence for our ancestors. Irie, no problem. So let's actually proceed now, right? So here we are in 2020, seeing at this moment in time, and it seems like some people, they haven't gotten it yet, right? And the it that they haven't gotten is that all people are created equal, you know. When it comes to God and his people and his children, all people are created equal, right? So first and foremost, there has been some issues in regards to a dreadlock ban in Jamaica by the High Court in schools and so. And there was a video circulating around with a sister that actually took her daughter to school in Jamaica, and the principal had an issue with her daughter because of locks. And this conversation was recorded, and you could hear that the parent was actually very surprised and really disgusted by that protocol or that rule implemented by the High Court in regards to children with locks entering the schools and so. I don't know in specificity completely, the intricate details, but in a round scale, they are saying that they are banning dreadlocks because of health issues, saying that people with locks are more susceptible to hygiene issues and bringing levels of dirtiness inside the school and so on and so forth, which I feel is pure discrimination, which I feel is pure evil, and I don't respect it whatsoever. How can a person's locks determine their level of hygiene? Especially in the picture that I saw, it seemed like the young lady that was there with her mother, her locks was really, really pretty, really nice. The little girl's locks was very beautiful, very neat, even neater than even people that don't have locks. Very clean. And this principal who was saying that with 18 years experience, she knows that, yeah, people with locks are more susceptible to hygiene issues or bringing lice and these kind of things into the school. Let me tell you something, principal, and let me tell you something, High Court. This is discrimination and slavery. This is discrimination and slavery at its lowest. Seeing, we don't respect that, and the world has to know about this, and the world will know about this. And I really cannot fathom how, these people implement these rules knowing that it's an information age and information can be passed so quickly. Information in regards to what's happening here in the Caribbean can reach places like Africa, Australia, Europe very quickly, Japan, in seconds. So information is actually being passed around. I cannot believe that they would attempt to do this, even after people like Bob Marley has established such a powerful energy, not just throughout Jamaica, but globally, as a global icon, as a Rasta man, who, for his work, we could say that Bob Marley is responsible for the economic flow of Jamaica. We could say, let me repeat that, Bob Marley's music and what he has done has made Jamaica millions, billions of dollars. Because if you notice, if you go to anywhere in the world, those people that haven't been to the Caribbean, they're always interested in going to Jamaica because Jamaica is one of the best well-marketed islands in the Caribbean. Due to who? To Bob Marley, the Rasta man, the Congo man, the man with the thickest locks that you can see. But the people love Bob Marley because he represented spirituality and naturality. And something about his spirit makes you think about the indigenous, the original man, the conscious man. So we want to give thanks and praise to Bob Marley. You know, we saw videos of him saying that being rich doesn't have anything to do with material things. Being rich is being rich in spirit, you know, performing good deeds to others, keeping a close relationship as well, you know, with the Almighty. As we know, Bob Marley was a spiritual man. What has happened is that sometimes the spirit of the colonizers or the colonial nations through generations have been brought down upon our people. And so they accept the ways of the colonizers. And sometimes they strive to implement those rules and those ways even more than the colonizers themselves. You know, you actually call them, those are some of the slaves that the slave masters put in charge of what you would call the field slaves, implementing their rules and having an ego because they are in high levels in society. But let me tell you something, High Court. There's no court higher than the God court. So your high court is lower than the Almighty High Court. See? As a matter of fact, it's lower than the lowest court because you disrespect and you disregard the power of Rastafari. Okay? Because of Rasta music and Rasta energy, many thousands of people flock to Jamaica and spend money in Jamaica, spend money with the different small businesses and with the people in Jamaica. How could you, after knowing that Bob Marley has set such a precedence in creation for your country, that you would go ahead and disrespect Bob Marley like that? Right? What does here have to do with education? Right? Would you have preferred that young child who came into the school to have her hair straightened and hot pressed? Would you have preferred that she had a lot more chemicals in her hair? Would you have preferred that her hair looked nicer? Because, you know, basically, I could go on and on and on. So it's a disrespectful move. It's a ridiculous move. It's a stupid move. Whoever implemented that. Whoever sat down at the table and said that we are going to ban dreadlocks because of health issues. I know for sure it don't have nothing to do with hair. This is the first step in trying to remove the cultural expression of Rastafari from Jamaica. So they begin with the hair. So the people getting the education, right? If you change the image, next thing you want to do is try to change the mind, and then you want to change the outcome. See? We know as Rastafari all the discrimination that has taken place in the system, how hard it was for Rastafarians to actually be seen as equal in society because of growing their hair. You know? We know that this is much more than just something to do with health. This is also a religious fight. The fight that has some of these people, these, I wouldn't say all due respect to the elders, but some of these older folk, they still have that brainwash mentality when it comes to Rasta. They would jump to Bob Marley music and sway and everything and act like they like Bob Marley, but truly, deep down inside, they don't like Rasta because it's a religious thing. A lot of people that discriminate against Rastafari, they come from the church. So it's a spiritual war still. See, to me, if any principle in any place on earth say that dreadlocks is bad and youths cannot come to school because of the length of their hair or because they have dreadlocks and they're more susceptible to lice and to certain things, you say fire for that, right? That's not a positive thing. That's not a hopeful thing. In all due respect, we give thanks and praise to the indigenous people, the cultural people, the people that know the land, the people that know farming, the people that know the bush life, right? The people that really understand that working with nature is really the way to go versus just being in the system and everything, you know, is from the system, right? Your food is given to you by someone else. Your medicine is given to you by someone else. Seeing, we have a responsibility at this moment in time to create a beautiful paradigm for people throughout the earth. And let me tell you something, Rastafari, right, is the foundation for originality and authenticity in creation at this moment in time. See? Any young child that have locks at this moment in time, go on, grow it if you can. Free up, right? Don't let these bald heads try to stray you away from your culture. Because we know what the Rasta represent. Rasta represent the Nazarite. Rastafari, locks is supposed to represent your spiritual evolution as a human being. Your attempt to be more closer with the God within you. There has always been a fight against the Rastafari doctrines for many, many, many years now, and it's quite unfortunate. We as a nation, we have to fight against this sort of discrimination because it's not necessary at this moment in time. As a matter of fact, it's an embarrassment for Jamaica, for any official within government to try to ban dreadlocks. Because of Rastafari culture and because of culture, period, people flock to Jamaica for its authenticity, right? They book hotel rooms, they spend money with the small businesses and with businesses around because they want to have that authentic, beyond the city experience. They really want that true island experience. So I urge those of you who have heard about the Jamaica ban to fight against it with all your might and to make sure that you spread the word as to what's happened in Jamaica with this school child, because it's imperative that this lady, that this mother gets support for what's happening at this moment in time. All right? We want to see traction, we want to see the numbers, and we want the word to get back to these officials who have implemented this nonsense, right? Just like how there's the Black Lives Matter, there's also, Rastafari matter same way. Seeing dreadlocks matter same way, right? I guess you would have preferred the youth to come school with a bunch of colors in terms of chemicals in their hair and, you know, which is actually, when you put chemicals in your hair, it enters the brain, then gravity pulls it down. So do you know there have been studies found that sisters who put a lot of chemicals in their hair, they have more fibroids because of that result. Because the gravity pulls the liquid on the inside down and it settles in the womb. There's so much facts about these things. But here's what I'm saying. It's a violation of the moral code to fight down someone because of their hair. You see all kind of people walking around with all kind of weird hairstyles and everything, and it's being accepted because I guess it's what you call new age or Generation X or whatever it is. Many people right now freeing up themselves and expressing themselves in many various different ways. This is not the 1950s and 60s, ladies and gentlemen. This is actually 2020, when a whole bunch of revolutionary vibes is taking place and people are standing up against discrimination and trampling it right now. So the earth will know about the discrimination of this youth, specifically in Jamaica, in regards to her hair. I feel that you all should reverse this as soon as possible, because there are people that care for the younger generation and will not accept this Luciferian agenda, this Satanism that is being pushed throughout the earth. We humble ourselves to the Almighty Creator and the goodness that exists in creation, because we know that there is no way on earth that Babylon can conquer the earth. There's no way that, negativity can conquer righteousness. So we push, and we push to ban discrimination and to ban the dreadlock ban. See? Secondly, the next reason why they fight it down is because if you look in the Bible and you look at Samson, and if Samson had 7 locks, it means that Samson was a bongo man, but he was the strongest man on the face of creation, right? And Delilah, the system, right, went and basically found a way to basically convince Samson that he should chop his locks and lose his strength, and so on and so forth. So that is symbolic. Our hair is much more than hair. They say it's dead. That's the reason why it grows and all kind of thing, but hair is not dead. We have a life. It grows because it's alive. We can call it dead if we want to. You could have all your reasons to call it dead, but these are our antennas to the universe. We pick up signals from the omniverse. This is how God created us originally, for our hair to grow. If he didn't want our hair to grow, he wouldn't make it to grow. So we are growing our hair because God actually made it that way. See? So This is the original thought. This is the thought that really is important, because it's just like me saying, well, you know, I'm a discriminate. You cannot come to school because you are of a different race. That's discrimination. Okay? How could you prevent a child, a young child motivated to learn? How could you discourage them because of their hair? A psychological manipulation. And Rastafari, we're not for that. We don't respect that. We disregard any kind of negative outlook in terms of people and long hair. I think that if people have the hair, they can do whatever they choose to do with it. But I choose to be a Rastaman because I just feel like it's the most Afrocentric, cultural, divine way to be in creation. You know, I want to give thanks and praise for all Rasta houses, you know, whether you're a Rasta house in America, Jamaica, or other Caribbean islands like the Virgin Islands, you know, whether you're a Rastafari in Hawaii, Africa, Australia, all Rastas have to come together to fight down this ban, because for little children who have already gone through the struggle because of the system in Jamaica, we cannot add more pressure to them because they are precious, and it's very important that we support them. Irie, we are going to put this topic on the global map to make sure that this does not happen again. That nowhere on earth there is a discrimination to our people because of hair and locks and all those things. We don't respect that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you who really does not respect that. Person most that does not respect what you're doing is the Almighty Creator, God. So you could go ahead and use your religion to fight down, or use your positions in the system to fight down Rastafari, but we do not care because we fight. It's always been a fight for us against the system, and we shall continue to fight because of this injustice. Who are you, Miss Principle, to be out of principle? Seeing you call yourself principle, but you have no principle. You have to love and respect your Black people, regardless of their hair this and their hair that. Okay, naturality is a beautiful thing versus putting in this fake this and this fake that. You have to respect and honor, okay, the natural way, the original way. Rastafarian culture bring money because of Rastafari and the economy, and money flowing in Jamaica because of the Rasta culture, because of the messengers of the word. Once again, big up Bob Marley, big up Taurus Riley, big up Capleton, big up Queen Ifrika, Itana, Desiree, Akai Becca, Rima, Pressure Bus Pipe, Junior P, Rasbach, and I can go on and on and on and on. Seeing? Big up all artists. Big up all ones that hold firm. Big up the whole Marley family. Seeing? And what, you know, the Marleys and, you know, what they have done for Rastafari throughout this time, and how they promote our culture, our identity, our look, our energy, our frequency. Seeing? You, as an African person, as an African nation, should love who you are. Love your complexion, love your nose, love your lips, love your high cheeks. Seeing? Love who you are. Embrace who you are. Seeing? Do not let people bring you down because you choose to be natural. Okay? One point I have to bring. In terms of hygiene, when has lice only been in the hair of Rastafarians only? Since you say that, okay, from experience, Miss Principal, you know Rasta locks and everything, you know, it bring more of a unclean vibe to the schools. Let me ask you a question. Does lice discriminate when it wants to go in the scalp or in the hair of someone? I know many people who don't have locks that have lice, or who have had lice in the hair and had to cut their hair. I know people who even cut their hair. Sometimes they don't even keep their hair cut, or their hair or their face or whatever kept in a certain way, right? So people who braid their hair, plait their hair, there are students, I'm sure, that plait their hair and braid their hair. Sometimes a week pass and the parent cannot braid their hair because there's so much things the mother have to do. She have to reach work at a certain time. So she might have to make 2 weeks pass before she braid her child's hair again. It's not as neat 2 weeks after since the first time that she braided her child's hair. So you cannot attach hygiene and health issues to just Rasta only. This is discrimination. How many children, right, go to school, like, one of the brethren, one of the YouTubers, said, how many children go to school that don't have locks, that don't even put deodorant under their arm, that don't even brush their teeth, and they don't have locks? This is a religious fight. This is control. This is the same old fight from in the 1960s and 70s when you all did not understand Rastafari. And some of you didn't even take the time. You want to learn everything the colonizers give you, the information the colonizers give you, and you would not take and try to research your own African lineage. The same lineage of Solomon and David. This is what Rasta leads to. The divine lineage of Solomon and David come all the way down to His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie. All of you who speak about Rastafari, who try to judge Rasta, who speak of Haile Selassie, have you even read any excerpt from Haile Selassie? You only know about Haile Selassie because of Bob Marley's songs, Until, blah, blah, blah. So who are you to judge Rasta and to tell us about our hair? When you put in a whole bunch of chemicals in yours and straighten your hair because you are not proud of who you are. Many of you are so ashamed to even wear your natural hair out. You have to cover it with something. You have to dye it up, cover it with this, something that's not natural, just to make it look smooth and nice. Why isn't this nice? This is you. And the crazy thing? There are people who are not even black or not Africans that see the beauty more than our own black people do. And this is unfortunate. So I tell the people and the nation once again, there is no way on the face of the earth and nowhere in the world, because the world will not allow it. This is the information age. So we pass information swiftly throughout. There is no way on the face of the planet that we are going to allow any high court or any Jamaica hide this or hide that to ban a youth from getting their education because of their hair. This is discrimination at its lowest. This is Satanism, this is Luciferianism, and they probably got a behind backdoor order from the same colonizers or the same people that represent the colonizers to implement this because they want control. This is a spiritual war. It's a subliminal war. There's no way on the face of the planet that we as Rastafari is going to allow that to happen to a youth. Never. See? So I want to big up all messengers of the word, all messengers that have put forth Rastafari name and has pushed forward the energy, seeing, of love and kindness and overstanding to the nation. Seeing? And give thanks for the rebels too. Because if there wasn't rebels that fought against even the colonizers, we would still be in shackles and chains today. And we are free. So give thanks for the rebels too. We don't just swallow these things. Those of you that fight Rasta, fire for you. And forever will it be until you realize what you're fighting against. You're fighting against wind. You're fighting against, you're fighting against the earth. You're fighting against all the elements. And all the elements will rise up and destroy you if you continue this with this slave mentality, with this brainwash vibe. So I'm telling you, whichever High Court General implemented this, whoever sat down at the table to implement this, because it's the information age, we will know exactly who you are, and you will be embarrassed because of this choice that you have made. See? Because remember, you think all Rasta stupid like you feel. See? You all feel like Rasta stupid and Rasta don't have no education. No, there are people with locks who are millionaires who could give you a job same way, who own their companies and who own the LLC. I am the CEO of my own company and the executive director of my family's company. So don't play with me. This is intelligence and confidence. Who are you to try to judge Rastafari and try to bring down a youth when the youth is trying to get an education, when our ancestors fight? Lives have been lost just so we can have an equal education and equal opportunity. Who are you? So to make a long story short, give thanks to Rastafari forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Give thanks for the love. Give thanks for neutrality. Peace be unto you. And may our glorious ancestors stop you in your tracks when you are trying to do evil against the naturality of who we are as African people. We ain't come to convert, right? We see beauty in who we are. And that's real. We see beauty in who we are. And for those of you who are part of this Luciferian agenda, the satanic agenda, God will get you in due time, and you will feel the wrath of the Almighty. Selassie, Jah Rastafari. Give thanks and praise, nation. Bless.